Hello and welcome back to the Garnet Chronicles tournament. We're heading into our grand finals. This Signature Series is presented by Daily Hive. If you're ever wondering what's going on in Vancouver today, Daily Hive has you covered. Check them out at dailyhive.com.
And we've gone all the way to the finals now, and today's event is put on by Canada's leader in esports, the Gaming Stadium. Are you looking for the next big thing in competitive gaming? Well, look no further. The team at the Gaming Stadium are leaders in online esports tournaments and events. Check out the action at tgs.gg.
I'm definitely looking forward to this final match. We'll be seeing some Mech Shadow, some Last Word Shadow, and both of them have the same rally, aggro, mid-range sword.
And diversity sword. We've seen Garvin in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really great options here. And the sword versus shadow matchup has definitely some pretty interesting dynamics to it. We did see the last one come down to, not the last game, but we have seen that matchup come down to a few very key plays and a few very key draws. So there are a lot of ways for that matchup to go, and I'm interested to see if we can sort of hit the full spectrum there in terms of how these sorts of decks can play out against each other. Sometimes the sword aggression can be just a little bit too fast. Sometimes they have to sort of find ways to eke out damage through a bunch of wards, and sometimes the shadow can actually turn the game around on board with the right sequencing and with the lack of diverse removal options that sword can have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely many different ways that this final set can play out. I'm definitely interested in seeing how it's going to be going. And both players are from teams that have been around since the dawn, really, of competitive Shadowverse. We've got Mana Surge and Team Omnibus represented here today. And I bet their teammates are happy to see them compete. And I'm excited to see how it's going to go. And if you'd like to be a part of the esports scene, you can always check out one of our collegiate partners, the University of Canada West. They bring together education, gamers, and friends. In a post-pandemic era, both online and offline connections need to be created and cherished throughout our community. And here we go into that final set.
MS Charm versus TO KANAHAMU, Garnet Chronicles Grand Finals. Let's go. Game 1, we've got Sword versus Shadow right off the bat. MS Charm deciding to start off with the Shadow. It's not too big of a deal which one you start off with here, although I would say maybe Shadow is slightly favored, although we have seen how strong Sword can be when it gets the really key turns going their way. So Blade Right's Lieutenant already in hand for MS Charm, although he's going first, so not quite going to be the free Evo, but it's still just a really great way to stack up the rally. Got Quixotic on 2 as well, so a lot of options there. And Fearin, not always a card that you want to see, but with Rally Sword, if you're playing out a ton of followers early on, we could have a full board on turn 4 here, so that Fearin could be really, really strong.
Definitely, we're going to have to see how these early turns play out, what KANAHAMU's choice will be on turn 2. He's going with the Celeste over any of the followers, so he might be trading at least next turn.
Celeste, yeah. So this is like really good future development, I guess. But it means he's not going to be able to contest any of these followers. And Charm is, he's got blood in his eyes. He's going all the way forward, making this 4 wide board and setting up for a really strong Fearin. Now KANAHAMU taking a bit of more time here with multiple 2-drops and the Otherworld in hand. Does he want to go for the Otherworld on this turn for a little bit more stats and then force him to trade to deny the Evo target? So KANAHAMU, he is going to play and gets a Bone Fanatic again.
Probably not what he wants to see in terms of getting more stats on the board, especially with the Sphere coming out.
Yeah.
And everything just heading towards the noggin.
This is really, really strong from Rally Sword. It's so simple, but it's so effective, especially when your opponent basically passes turn 2. Wasn't really a pass, but this Celeste Omega isn't going to help your board state at all in terms of removal. You can evolve something to trade it in anyway, and because we didn't contest the 2-drop, all of these followers are now really, really strong. This is so much damage. We can even set up, say, like a Squirrel or Core Master into the Adventurer second, and then have that bike going on Balion for potentially lethal on turn 6 if KANAHAMU doesn't pull a rabbit out of his hat, essentially.
I mean, KANAHAMU does have an opportunity to try to at least get some Last Words followers destroyed so that maybe he can get out the ward with Chris next turn to maybe save him from the Balion on 6. But it's all in maybes and trying his best here.
Oh, okay, so
Trade
playing
pulse.
the Necro Impulse, but we didn't Evo trade yet. We could have just like Evo'd the skeleton into the 3/3, and then we would have been able to clear both the 2/2s with 4 board spaces. So now we actually are just left with 2 extra damage on the board, and that
even
can
getting a
very
tree.
easily be a big deal, especially now with the tree. The Balion is going to be really good now on turn 6, and we can play out the tree or get the tree in hand right away. We could go Squirrel, Tree, and then the Adventurer last if we want to maximize our damage.
If the rally's at the point where he can get that tree for free at the start of next turn, he might consider that line as well.
Yeah, you can just hold on to it for sure and not reveal information. If you were to use it here, it would be a little bit telling. So, evaluating his options here, does he want to actually ignore this board, or does he want to put the bike on the Squirrel? Is gonna opt to ignore the board. I agree with this. Get the damage on Miss Delina. That's where it matters, because like you're not gonna die anytime soon. Evo face. Ignore the skeleton. Ignore Celeste. Very nicely played. Nice work from MS Charm on the Rally Sword. Armored Goblin. A little too late here. These 2 drops from KANAHAMU really not contributing a whole lot. We can Evo trade into the 4/4 here and get the rush, and we can full clear this board, but that's still not going to be enough. We're already at 8 HP because we A, didn't contest the 2 drop, and B, didn't clear as much as we could on the Necro Impulse turn. So this is just a lot of damage. Way too much damage, and in fact it's only exact lethal because we took extra damage from all of those things.
Yeah, it really goes to show how important the early turns are in this speed of Shadowverse.
Right. KANAHAMU gonna just take his time on these last couple of trades, but he doesn't know that it's already doomed. I guess he should already like have a very good idea that it's doomed, but might as well play it out. Get the value trades. And MS Charm, 2 Miss Delinas in hand, just in case he needed another one. Very nice. Ask the tree for free.
Get that fuse on in there. Wait. Yeah, there it goes. I wasn't sure about the ordering of the animations there, but there it is.
Right. Okay, yeah, actually, it was 2 damage over lethal. So for some reason, I'm just bad at math today or something. So, okay, so one of the things that we did might have been excusable, but if we had contested the 2 drop and made the proper ordering on the Necro Impulse turn, maybe it was at least livable for this turn. Although with the second Balion in hand and with the removal spell as well, chances are we weren't gonna win. So unlucky there a bit from KANAHAMU, just ultimately kind of going second against a really insane curve, to be fair. But now does have another chance to beat Shadow with the mirror match. Actually gonna save Sword for last, and he does go first. Let's see if he has any crazy text for the mirror.
Well, not quite the mirror.
Or not quite the mirror, yeah, it's actually the Machina Shadow. So in this case, the lack of healing can be a pretty big deal, the lack of consistent healing. So series and trying to get that healing from the spell as early as possible in advance is going to be a big deal, because they can very easily kill you without actually interacting with the card you put the series spell on. So that's going to be a thing for KANAHAMU to be thinking about. MS Charm already drawing Enea once again. Very nicely done with the 2-drop Machinas and Enea in hand.
And the Necromancy card.
Very good. It is the 2-cost one, though, so we'll still have to see if there's a... Well, actually, we can do now, we can play the Enea on 3. Yeah,
get it back with the Force Resurrection if we need to.
Right, yeah. Let it die, revive it, then play the 2-drop. You can then Evo the Spite-bound Sorcerer, and that's going to even clear an extra thing. Just very, very strong plays all around.
Why does she have that evolve effect?
Because she needs it, clearly.
I want to get it all back.
Needs it, by the way.
Going face.
Yeah, okay, I can respect that.
Go first, go face. I like it.
Bring the fight to MS Charm. Gonna slam down the Enea, knows what he's gonna be doing next turn. And KANAHAMU should know as well that this is either 2 Eneas in hand, or something is going on with the Force Resurrection, or perhaps some other sort of revive, but not much of a choice. Still have to clear it.
Trading first, then going with the Kagero.
And looking for another value trade here into a 1/1. The Wicked Rebirth, I imagine, is going to be saved until next turn. Although, since we're going first, yeah, the Tyrant is not going to be popping for quite a while, not until turn 6. It's going to be pretty rough here. Not a lot of options going into next turn. Hovering the Wicked Rebirth, decides not to use it. Oh my goodness, Steeled Hopes off the top. So many really good options for MS Charm. The Wicked, or the Force Resurrection, could still probably be the play here alongside the 2-drop, although not the only option we have. Does go for it anyway. It's just, it's too strong not to do, right?
No other way. There's no retreat.
The Force Resurrection bringing back the Kagero, but the first Kagero did not have enough shadows to get the Soul Strike.
So you can use the 2-drop here, and then try to save the Steeled Hopes for when you play Roly Poly on turn 6. Okay, well, you could also just draw another one.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Roly +1 on turn 6 is going to be a pretty solid play there. And then depending on what we top deck for next turn is going to determine a lot for MS Charm sequencing over the rest of the mid game. But this is a really, really deadly board. It's going to spawn Bone Drone, full board. And of course, the Tyrant still not popping because we only drew it on turn 3. There's no good options here. Link Staff coming down, but that doesn't do a whole lot. You can Evo trade and then
Wicked
eat
Rebirth,
declare 2 things, but that's so weak.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
no.
does not feel great, but doing what he has to, or what he can at this point.
To add insult to injury, the unplayable healing spell. Because we only have 1 follower on the board.
Yeah, retracing past needing to. Just going with the
Roly Poly. Very simple. Can't really go wrong with that one. Roly Poly on a already existing board. Now you have the pick of the litter here for what you want to Evo face with the Bone Drone or the 1/1.
Or you could trade the 1/1, not Evo, and just get another Bone Drone.
Yeah. Yeah, trade the 1/1, just go face, get another Bone Drone is a pretty strong play. for sure. And Charm is gonna be thinking about whether he wants more board right now or just maximum smork. Goes for the board, knows that KANAHAMU hasn't really been stacking that many last words, and in general is not really scared of anything, so gonna go for maximum board here. I think this is a really reliable play. Usually just wins.
There's a series, so a little
late. Yeah.
Not able to do too much. No way of even suiciding that lurching corpse.
Right.
To try to
because
get
we had
some
to
more
use the
clear.
rebirth earlier. Drawing first with retracing, and honestly, not a whole lot of options that can really help out. I guess rebirth would be the best to draw off the top, but we get the Otherworld instead. Series could be the Evo target here, and with the Soul Strike to remove one more follower. Although, if Chris is active, I don't think it is.
No, I don't believe so. I think he is summoning the Ghostly Rider, but I do not believe Last Words is at 10, otherwise that Soul Strike would...
Right. Okay, so Otherworld, the Armor Goblin coming out, and... So it's not a very effective way to deal with the roly-poly, because we have to hit it again.
With the Soul Strike, and
that just leaves lethal on board. Never lucky. KANAHAMU just getting run down by aggro curves twice in a row, honestly. MS Charm drawing another Enea because he just only hits, apparently.
Yeah, Evil Wing Face.
Evil Wing Face for maximum BM. MS Charm really convincing, really quick 2-0. What a champion.
I wish for every time that I play Mech Shadow for my hands and top deck skills to be like Charms. Like that's skill right there. And I want that skill.
We all want a little bit of that skill. Honestly, crazy tournament. We saw a lot of upsets throughout both days, I would say. And just a lot of crazy moments happening with top decks, with cards being drawn, cards not being drawn. But today, MS Charm he must have been holding on to a few lucky charms in his pocket during this set, because those Eneas, he was drawing more Eneas and more Enea generators than he ever could have needed. Went second with really, really powerful curves. And then when he wasn't going second, he had the insane rally curve into the Fearin for a full board of buffs. Just really, really nasty. But very, 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 very well played from Charm. Did not mess up at all as far as I could tell. Just very clean, very straightforward gameplay. Just hit face and defeated the enemy. Very nice.
Yeah. But yeah, big congratulations to him once again. Thanks, of course, to everyone who played and watched this whole journey. It was great to have you here. And of course, a big thanks to all of the sponsors for today. Ncorp Gaming Stadium, of course, for putting this on. Daily Hive for sponsoring today. Monster Cat, Kanto Living, the University of Canada West. Thank you all so much for making this event possible. Have anything you want to share about yourself? Anything you want to sign off with?
I mean, follow me on Twitter at NoirSV. If you enjoyed this cast and want to see me casting more in the future, give me a follow. And yeah, hopefully I get to do more casting, more Shadowverse tournaments, maybe more with Momo as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what else this expansion has in store for us.
Yeah, totally. And make sure you give me a follow over on Twitter and Twitch as well, at the Momo Jelly on both. I'm also the team leader of Dawnbreaker, so make sure you give the team's Twitter a follow as well, at Dawnbreakers SV. Thank you so much again for everyone who made this event possible and made it so much fun. I hope we see you next time.